The majority of today's major terror groups are not even connected to Islam, despite the media telling us they are. For example, the Revolutionary Armed Forces of Colombia, which is designated as a terrorist organization by the US, is a Marxist-Leninist group. The main victims of terrorism don't even live within the West. We hear about the worst cases in the West, but the majority tend to be throughout Iraq, Afghanistan, and Pakistan. 60% of all fatal attacks occur here by terror groups. The recent Charlie Hebdo shootings in Paris were some of the biggest attacks, and now the most recent attacks throughout Paris have surpassed those. Despite those happenings, the majority of European terror attacks are about separatism. For example, Irish republicanism. Recent studies have come to the conclusion that homegrown terrorists kill more Americans than any jihadists ever will. 48 American citizens have lost their lives to right-wing extremism since the attacks on 9/11. Left-wing values have rarely been associated with any form of modern terrorism. Despite many believing otherwise, left-wing terrorists are actually responsible for more non-lethal attacks than any other group in the world. Terrorism within the United States is rarely, if ever, carried out by organized groups. The majority of attacks, which a study explored 60 if, are carried out by a lone wolf or small groups of 2 at the most. These make up 90% of all attacks. Despite the media wanting everyone to be terrified, the frequency of terror attacks within the United States has actually been declining since 1970. Since that year, over 450 attacks have been recorded. Mass casualty events are more popular, but overall we have seen less attacks each year since the 70s. Studies by governments have revealed that various forms of terrorism actually don't work whatsoever. A study in 2009 revealed that out of 475 terrorist campaigns recorded, not a single extremist group has actually succeeded in conquering a state. Most people believe terrorism is all about spreading religion or someone's ideology. That is actually quite false. Terrorists have been found to simply enjoy hurting other people, which makes them more sadistic than religious. Despite most reports claiming 9/11 is one of the biggest terror attacks, with over 3,000 dead in the ensuing slaughter, it actually is not. 4 KKK members, back in 1997, plotted to blow up a gas refinery in Fort Worth, Texas. The aftermath would have resulted in over 30,000 people losing their lives.